Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
And this week we're going to stuff our faces with 5 million frosted buns and put on our best bear face.
Brave from 2012.
The ancients spoke of it. It is the heart of this fierce land. It is carried in the wind. Born of our legends. And when we are put to the test, it is the one thing we must always be.
Dad's leg was clean off!
Oh, that's my favourite part!
What'd you think about this movie?
Welcome to the Scotscast.
Yeah, we'll try to limit our Scottish accents as much as we can, but sometimes it sounds better with a Scottish accent.
Limit what?
Like that.
Just kidding.
What did you think about the movie?
I thought it was fucking great.
So, okay, I really like this movie. I really do, but there are a few things that I think they could have done to improve it.
Oh, it could have been improved by a lot, but I still think it's great.
No, it was a really good idea, and there was just a few things with the story bothered me, but a few things they could have
really
changed.
Bothered me. I just would have liked a few changes.
I wanted more. Like, it seemed though...
Let's do more.
Well, it seemed as though they could have had more characters.
Well, that is one of the weird things about this movie. How many voice actors do you think there are?
6.
15, and that's it.
Whoa!
For the whole movie, there's 15 people.
Definitely abnormal for a Pixar movie.
Abnormal for any of these Disney animated movies.
And it felt more like a Disney movie than a Pixar movie, to be honest.
I kind of disagree, but okay.
That's just
No,
my opinion,
that's what I mean.
but
Yeah, I don't see it quite like that.
I don't know. I'll talk about it when I say what I would change, but they could have done more. They could have made it a little more...
You could have done more, man, but then it wouldn't have been an hour and a half Pixar movie.
Let me read the synopsis really quick.
Do it.
Brave from 2012. Coming of age, family, fantasy, animation. Take a heroic journey with Merida, a skilled archer and headstrong daughter of King Fergus and Queen Eleanor. Determined to carve her own path in life, Merida defies an old age custom sacred to the unruly and uproarious lords of the land. When her actions inadvertently unleash chaos in the kingdom, Merida must harness all of her skills and resources, including her clever and mischievous triplet brothers, to undo a beastly curse before it's too late, and discover the true meaning of bravery.
So here's one of my biggest problems with the movie, is that her name is Merida. It's a terrible name.
Correct, sir.
But it's like a traditional Scottish name.
Yeah, but they could have done better.
Well, like what?
Anything else.
Kelly!
Sure.
After the...
Something slightly more relatable than Merida, which is like, what?
It is a little bit hard to remember.
It's a little claggy. It's a little hard to remember. It's not fun to say. It's not cool.
Yeah, it's a little... I agree with that. They could have done a little bit better with that, probably.
It's like a big bowl of Scottish oats.
Hardy.
Yeah. Hardy. Boring. To the point.
This movie had 3 directors, which was...
Yeah, because one of them got fired in the middle.
Yeah, which... I don't know.
Awkward!
It's a little awkward, and I just don't know if that would have been better or worse.
So, Mark Andrews, his only real movie that he's ever directed.
Yep.
And he's the one that replaced Barbara Chapman, who had done Princess and the Frog and Prince of Egypt. But they had to replace her for some reason.
It doesn't make any sense because she has more credits than all of them. In addition to more writing credits.
Yeah, so something obviously just went down between this lady and Pixar.
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am. Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
And it might be that it was a lady, because Pixar kind of seems like a sausage fest to me.
Must be swift at the coursing river with all the force of...
Well, yeah, because this was the first, spoiler alert, Merida was the first female lead of any Pixar movie.
Well, yeah.
So it's just, Yeah, it definitely was a little strange because she has the most credit out of all three of them.
Whoa. We need a dude to take over.
A dude with no movie experience at all. It's perfect. And the third director, Steve Purcell, he basically just wrote for video games.
And this is his only movie. Which is really weird that it worked as well as it did, but it also shows why there's room for improvement. Because this honestly could have been 100 out of 100 movie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
But it's so likable, though.
But it wasn't. I'm not saying it was far off. But had they gotten a steady hand on the wheel, this would have been 100 out of 100 movie.
Steady hand on the bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also wrote it. All three of them also wrote the movie.
Yeah, which is really weird.
Which really Brenda Chapman wrote most of the movie, let's be honest. And then, okay, the acting, the credits for these actors, some of them were very weird. Pretty much all of them have worked together in different
because they were almost all in Harry Potter.
Which is crazy.
I mean, Kelly MacDonald, she was in for No Country for Old Men, for sure, and she was in Trainspotting.
Yeah.
Promising anything, you know?
Do you find that this approach usually works? Or let me guess, you've never tried it before? In fact, you don't normally approach girls, am I right? The truth is that you're a quiet, sensitive type, but if I'm prepared to take a chance, I might just get to know the inner you. Witty, adventurous, passionate.
I recognize her kind of. Billy Connolly I recognize, and he's King Fergus, because he's a really funny guy.
Well,
and he was in Pocahontas and Boondock Saints.
He was also in Muppet Treasure Island. He was Billy Bones.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was Billy Bones in Muppet Treasure Island.
Well, and then the gal, Kelly MacDonald, she was also in Harry Potter. She was in the Deathly Hallows movie. She was a nobody. Well, she was Helena Ravenclaw. She's the ghost. Like, she was... But that's her Harry Potter connection.
And then Emma Thompson, of course. We all know Emma Thompson. She's in everything that we do.
Yeah, I just wrote, literally, Emma Thompson again.
Yeah, again. And then Julie Walters, who was cool. She was great in her little thing. She was Molly Weasley. Mm-hmm. And she was in Mamma Mia, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, she played one of the friends of Donna, and she's the...
One of the Yentas?
She's probably my favorite character in that movie.
Really?
But
wow.
She's just like a funny older lady, and she's really funny.
She might be my favorite character in this movie.
And she was in Billy Elliot also, which I haven't seen, but it's a very famous movie. But well, it is. Like when it came out, it was like everyone was talking about it.
Is it similar to Billy Madison?
I don't think so.
Pass.
No, I don't think so. And then Robbie Coltrane as Lord Dingwall. He's Hagrid.
Yeah, Hagrid.
I was like,
in this movie.
That's why his voice sounds familiar.
And Craig Ferguson was Macintosh.
Yep. And Kevin McKidd was Lord MacGuffin, and he was also in Trainspotting.
Yeah, he was Tommy.
Most people probably know him from Grey's Anatomy. Well, maybe. that's one of his bigger roles, and that's what
so is Trainspotting.
A lot of people watch.
Yeah. Kat, do you got any fun facts?
I got a couple.
I got a couple too. I think we've touched on some of them already, but that's fine.
So, in true Pixar fashion, the Pizza Planet truck can be seen in the witch's house for a brief second.
Oh, well, that's cute. So this is the first Pixar movie that's set in the historic past.
I had that as well.
Oh, fancy.
So, despite being, replaced during production, she still approved of the movie, Brenda Chapman.
Well, how could you not? The original title of this movie was Bear and the Bow, which I think would have been better.
Probably, yeah, because the brave thing, I mean, it just doesn't...
It doesn't pop.
It would have made more sense for them to call it, like, fate.
Who or what is brave? I don't understand.
Like, it's just being, like, be brave or something. But
is she really brave? Like, there's not a lot of bravery in this movie.
Kind of, yeah, but...
Brave, the bear is brave. Her mom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should have called it, like...
It just needed a better title.
So if they wanted a singular word, they should have gone with fate. Because the whole thing was change your fate, change your fate.
Sure. Maybe witch. I'm just kidding.
Wisp. Wisp would have been better. But yeah, Bear and the Bow, I think, would have been a better title.
Got anything else?
No, that's all I have.
Oh, okay, so I'll just say that Merida is the first Disney princess not based on anybody else.
It's truly original.
Just Merida.
Merida. Be murdering out there.
So, are you ready to shoot your way into this?
Yeah, that's the easy dunk, but yeah.
To find your way to the bullseye?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, what is yours? What's your
I didn't have one.
Okay, well, good for you.
It was going to be probably shoot or...
Okay.
Let's go with that.
So we start out with Merida being a little baby girl.
She gets her first bow from her dad.
For her birthday. She shoots her arrow out into the forest, and she starts following the wisps. She sees the will-o'-the-wisp. She's like, Mommy, they were real.
And then all of a sudden, a bear comes out of nowhere.
A big, giant, ugly bear with weapons sticking out of it.
Yeah.
And apparently it bites her father's leg off.
Yeah, because they make it seem like her father dies because her and her mom just
gallop away, and it's very dramatic. But then we open back up to where where King Fergus is just he is one of the best characters in any of the movies.
You know what he's kind of like? He's kind of like
he's fucking hilarious.
In Sword in the Rose, her brother, King Henry.
Yeah, like, he is very King Henry.
They're almost the same guy.
Yeah.
But he's just this giant, crazy guy. Yeah, he's always belly laughing. He's always recounting the story of how he lost his leg.
And he eats big piles of meat and just he doesn't give a flying fuck.
He's pinching his wife's ass, like he's just
yeah. He's into his wife, he's into his kids, and he just likes to have a good time.
Yeah, he's jolly. Jolly is a good way to describe him.
Why not use your very own? Happy birthday, my wee darling.
It's a whole thing of her mom just trying to make her perfect. Princesses don't do that.
Princesses don't do this. Princesses don't, and she is not princess material.
No.
Merida wants to go out and kill shit with her bow, climb mountains and rock faces, and kick ass.
Yeah, and she does that to the soundtrack of
I will rise, I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. I will fly. Touch the sky.
So this is one of my only problems, is I appreciated the Scottish music, but I needed it to be more like Silly Wizard. Like, I wanted them to get into it, Donald McGillivray, like, just like, really hit the Scottish music part.
Donald come up the hill, hard and hungry. Donald's come down the hill.
Instead, we got like a Scottish Jewel almost.
Yeah, I wouldn't even give it Jewel, because Jewel's pretty good. I would say like a Scottish Victoria Bedingford or whatever.
I don't know. She's like a Scottish folk singer, so that's what
Okay, but who's a terrible folk singer?
I don't know any folk singer.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
they really weakened the music. They needed to do a better job with the music of this.
I didn't mind this song though.
No. The song is good, but the music of it is terrible, and just
a little soft.
A little soft, yeah.
Not like what you think for Scottish music.
For Scottish music
to be.
Needed to have a little more hit to it. A little more bite.
So she goes home, and there's a dinner scene, which I really like this part.
Yeah, the dinner scene is great.
It's so funny, because she has 3 little triplet brothers, and they are just out of control.
Little shits. I mean, what would you do with triplet boys? You'd be fucked. I mean...
they're insane, and...
You'd be better off with a pelican in your house.
Yeah, because they just cause all kinds of trouble, and they eat a lot.
As the boys do.
Yeah. And basically, her parents are setting her up with suitors of the other clans, but they haven't told her anything about it. Which
they've all accepted, which of course they were all going to accept. That was the stupidest thing. No, one of the clans is going to be like, no, we're good. We're not going to marry the hottest redhead on the planet.
This is what I don't understand. Shouldn't she expect this?
I feel like she's been preparing her whole life for this.
she should know it's coming. And then all of a sudden she's like, you never told me. Oh my God, fuck you, Mom and Dad. I hate you. This part, I was just
it's a bit much. It's a bit much.
She's like, no, I'm not. Well, maybe it was more if she's not ready. That's why she was more upset, I guess. But
yeah, but I mean, she should have been ready. And she's like, no, I'm not doing it.
So then all of the lords arrive with their clans.
Yeah, Macintosh, MacGuffin, and Dingwall.
Yeah, and the presenting of the sons was a pretty good scene. I did enjoy that quite a bit.
It was decent. They were all terrible options.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big nose, long hair guy.
Who's that all the other chicks in the kingdom were fawning over.
The fat guy with the massive chin and the tiny mouth who could barely speak.
Unintelligible voice.
And then the chromosomally challenged Dingwall boy.
Yeah, they were all bad. And so Merida gets this idea because
she's the firstborn too.
So she's thinking, you know what she's thinking, it's clear. She's like, oh, we're going to do archery for the challenge.
So the boys, they're terrible archers, but through some dumb luck, the chromosomally challenged boy hits the bullseye, and she comes out and bullseyes each boy's target, including splitting the Dingwall boy's arrow in half.
Yeah, and so she doesn't realize that essentially she's just could cause a war, basically.
Well, she did cause a war. She dunked on all of them and was like, fuck all you little bitches, I'm better than you.
Yeah, and so then her and her mom get into this huge fight, and she rips the tapestry.
Doesn't it get cut with a sword?
Yeah, she slices it.
She slices it.
And her mom just loses her shit.
She's like, oh my God, no, you bitch.
Child. And you're a beast. That's what you are. Merida. I'll never be like you. Stop that. I'd rather die than be like you.
Throws her bow in the fire.
And immediately removes it. Oh no, what did I do? And Merida runs away with Angus and runs through the woods, and Angus throws her into Stonehenge, essentially.
Yeah, it's like Scottish Stonehenge.
Yeah, there are multiple Stonehenges in this movie.
Yeah, because it wasn't the same one, right?
Well, that one was the same one that they kept going back to, but there was another one a couple of different times.
Yeah, it was a little confusing.
But it's confusing.
A little bit.
Yeah.
They like their stones. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll set them on edge. Maybe they'll deadfall somebody. Oh, spoiler alert. So she runs into the crazy wood carver witch. And this is the best scene in the movie, easily.
It's pretty good, because
the witch is hilarious.
Well, she's first trying to pretend she's just a wood carver.
Yeah.
And her crow is blowing it for her, and the broom is sweeping on its own. It's all
like, no, everything's normal here. Don't worry about it. But they won't stop doing their thing.
Yeah, and so Merida offers to buy
everything in the shop
for a spell. And she gives her family heirloom necklace that has bears on it that I thought that was going to come back somehow.
I just didn't feel like it was that important. I just thought it was here's your valuable family trinket, and then they show that there's the other trinket.
They could have tied that back in somehow a little bit.
I feel like that was unimportant.
I have a lot of thoughts about it, but we'll get to that later.
As a fantasy person, there's a lot of feelings.
I do have... Shut up.
Wait. As a fantasy person, Kat has a lot of feelings.
Yes. Where am I? Oh, so she gets a magic cake to, quote, change her mom. And
she's just thinking that the cake is going to change her mom's mind because Merida is kind of dumb.
She's a little bit naive. And then the witch also showed her... I gave this to a guy who wanted the strength of 10 men, or I got this from a guy who wanted the strength of 10 men, and I changed him. I changed his fate, and it was just kind of what you thought was a throwaway thing.
And then she's like, well, about the spell, and then she wakes up in the middle of Stonehenge again. She's like, wait, what about the spell? And she doesn't. Oh, gosh. Rides back in, feeds Mama the cake, one bite of it, turns her into a bear.
I do like Mama getting turned into a bear.
It is very funny. It is very over the top, and
she's,
and Mom as a bear really worked.
Yeah.
Mom as a bear was a very effective thing. I was like, at first I was like, this is going to be dumb. But no, it worked out really well.
No, it was really, like, all of her mannerisms were very funny.
Yeah.
Very good.
Her instructions and everything. Yeah.
And she still puts on her little tiara. Like, she still has to be a lady. So she has to get her brothers to help them, like, escape the castle.
So they do these projections with a chicken that looks like a bear that gets all the men
who are drunk, obviously.
Menfolk drunk, because at first the king smells the bear.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't wrong about, but then the boys trick him and they run all over the place. They end up on the roof of the castle and have to tie all their pants together instead of shirts.
Their kilts. So
that they can all descend the top of the castle.
I didn't get why
pantsless instead of shirtless. Okay, whatever.
Well, they just wanted an excuse to show a bunch of butts.
Well, in the courting scene, that one guy showed the other guy his butthole. We skipped over to that,
yeah,
but that was hilarious. But there is some butthole humor.
He was like, feast your eyes.
Yeah. Feast your eyes on my brown eye.
Yeah, it was...
You cunt.
That's probably what he would have said in real life.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Feast your eyes!
And her brothers were great, by the way, also.
Yeah, the brothers were a great little...
And as they're leaving, she says, eat whatever you want is rewarded, and of course they're going to eat the cake.
Yeah, they zoom in on the cake. We don't see them for quite some time, but of course they ate the fucking cake.
Yeah,
Merida and Mama Bear go out to the witch's lair. Well, the witch isn't there, and this is the second best scene in the movie. Throw in the first vial.
Oh, yeah. If you're that little red-headed girl, throw in the third one.
Yeah, so there's like basically a telephone directory of a cauldron with vials. Yeah. It's very creative and very funny. I very much enjoyed this. And the witch tells her that she has to... Did you write it down?
Yeah, she said she has to... That the spell will be permanent after the second sunrise unless they mend the bonds torn by pride.
There's something else, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that was the gist of it, essentially.
It is the gist of it.
They say, oh, we have to mend the tapestry.
Yeah, which I thought this whole time, and which didn't track, is that she had to just bite the bullet and marry one of those guys. That's one of my things of like, that's what she should have done, is just picked one and married one.
Well, that's what, in reality should have happened, but in a Disney movie it was, no, you need to make your own path.
I actually hated that for a Disney movie. One of those guys should have shown themselves out as being better.
And see, I have a solution to that we'll get to in a little bit. That's going to fix all of it.
But then we have this terribly sad scene of Mama Bear sleeping in the rain with Merida, and it's terrible, and it makes you feel horrid.
Yeah, because Merida's like, I really fucked up.
Merida's just like, I'm fucked.
Her mom
is just like, well, this is my dignity now. I am fucking...
Okay, but then... The next morning. Okay, this is my favorite part of the movie.
I actually think that this is very close to my favorite part of the movie.
When the mom is like trying to make breakfast and she like has
her little fork and knife.
Yeah, and Merida's like, those are poisonous. Oh, that water has worms in it, and she
can't get a hold of herself. But then Merida shoots a salmon.
Yeah.
And feeds it to her, and she eats it like a bear.
Well, she's starting to go into bear tendencies.
Yeah, she starts to get bear tendencies throughout this. But yet, I mean, her trying to eat it with the salmon with a fork and knife and eating it like a bear and being like, I need more of those.
Yeah.
Is really funny. And then she tries to catch fish like a bear, which is really funny.
Yeah, because she's
inept, but she like opens her mouth at one point and one just jumps into her mouth.
Yeah, and so it's another kind of montagey fishing lessons to another Scottish folk song.
That was, once again, just a little bit too weak.
Well, it's the same person. It's the same gal.
Yeah, they should have got Silly Wizard.
barrels run o'er the hill, but he's t'other man, as he were wad or stand way another man. When he comes back, the sun will look merrily, he's taking James.
And then when they're done fishing, her mom basically turns into a real bear for a hot second.
And almost kills her.
Yeah, and then her eyes go back to Disney-ified eyes.
Yeah, that was one of the... Well, yeah, we'll get to that. So, they see some wisps, they follow them, and they end up in the ruins of the prince.
From the story
and from the witch, because the witch shows we see the little seal that the witch showed Merida.
Yeah, and I love this. I love that they tied the folk story her mom told her to this story.
Yeah, no.
To the fact that that guy from the story is the bear that ate her dad's foot.
Yeah, it's very good.
Excellent.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't have fired that lady.
Yeah, no, this part I really enjoyed this, because then the bear is trying to eat Merida, and she ate
Mordu.
Mordu. And she's able to jump up to her mom, and they escape, and
they run away. But they have to sneak back into the castle to repair the tapestry. So Mama Bear rips the it's always the prison, but for some reason in this it's the water well.
Yeah, it's like the moat, the waterway.
No, it's the water well, because they come up out of a well, which is really weird.
You're right.
Me, I was like,
how did they scale the wall?
Well, no, I'm fine with that, but it's just weird that you don't break into a well. Like, a well comes below the... Whatever. But, fine. Okay, if that's what you need to do. So...
All of the clans are in chaos.
Yeah, there's a war without marriage. Everybody's warring inside the king's court.
Yeah.
Including the king.
Yeah. And
Merida just walks into the middle of it all.
Well, she's channeling her mom, because her mom was really good.
Yeah.
Because earlier in the movie, when they were introducing the son, they all started fighting.
Oh, yeah, which is one of the secretly best parts of this movie, when she drags all the boys out by their ears.
Yeah.
And is like, no.
Her mom just owns all of it. And always, anytime her dad is getting too crazy, he's like, okay, yes, dear.
She can shoot him a look, and he'll be like, oh, I'm a dumbass.
Yeah. But in the background, nobody notices this giant bear.
Oh, no, somebody does.
Well, but she's, telling Merida what to say through, sign language.
Gestures, and she's like, oh, she's so proud, she cries.
Yeah, because she's telling her, you can choose your own path, and we're going to break tradition, and da-da-da-da-da.
And all of the boys of the clans agree. They're like, I didn't pick this girl. The chromosomally challenged boys like, I didn't pick her, you picked her, Dad. And they're like, no, yeah, we all want to go bang somebody else.
So... They go back upstairs, and then... Oh, because she gets them all to leave, because she says,
go down to the king's private reserves.
Yeah, and he's it's oh, get the tiny glass.
The queen goes all bear again. And hurts Merida, and the king gets wind.
Well, because he runs up to go see his wife.
Well, yeah,
and sees, the torn dress, and sees the stuff everywhere, but there's no blood anywhere. So, yeah. And then he goes in and sees the bear with Merida, and then that's when she turns into a real bear, then turns not into a real bear, and just runs out of the castle.
Yeah, very smart. So everybody follows the bear.
Yeah, after her dad locked her up in the room.
Yeah, and Merida's locked away, but of course the cubs, we finally meet the three boys again. They chase the lady that has the key stuck between her titties.
The giant tit lady.
Yeah. And one of them does a full-on
swan dive
into her tits. Yeah. And frees her. And then she escapes with the tapestry, stitching the tapestry as she rides.
Well, her brothers the bears are driving the horse.
Yeah.
And because she's always like, slow down, Hamish, da-da-da-da-da. And the wisps guide her to where everybody is, because they have her mom all tied up.
And they're going to, her dad's going to kill her. She straight up stops him, with swords and knives. She's like, no, you're not going to kill my mom, stupid.
Yeah.
Why don't you listen?
Get back! That's my mother!
Are you out of your mind, lass?
Mum, are you hurt?
And then at that moment, Mordu comes.
Yep, Mordu comes. He's fucking everybody up. He's causing a huge kerfuffle. And the queen figures out how to kill him as a bear, slamming him against one of the Stonehenges that's going to break and fall off on him. And sure enough, it does.
Yep. And so Merida brings the tapestry over because the sun is rising and
covers her mom. She's like, I couldn't do it. I don't know what I didn't do. And at this point, I'm like, go marry one of those boys out there.
Yeah. And the sun comes up and she's still a bear, but then without explanation or any kind of showing her change, she just turns back into a person.
Instead of the boys, they just turn back into people.
You feeling better, Ocho?
She changes back, and then, everything is happy. They're back in the kingdom. Everybody's leaving, and then...
Oh, I just can't wait to be king.
Only, not really.
They needed a song of the same vibe of that for the end of this movie.
Probably.
But with Scottish instruments and everything. They really did.
I would agree. And her and her mom ride off into the sunset, and
they make a new tapestry with a bear and Merida, and...
Yep.
And her mom is just so happy.
Her mom is thrilled. She's got her hair down.
But yet, all the clans are riding away, and nobody's going to marry Merida.
Nope.
And there's ambiguity for the whole kingdom.
Yeah, because the whole thing is at the end, you can change your fate, blah, blah, blah. And that's the end of the movie.
See. So, what did you think about the songs and the music?
I mean, I didn't hate it as much as you did.
I didn't hate it. But, once again, it should have been Silly Wizard. Those guys should have listened to Silly Wizard on repeat constantly.
I don't know what Silly Wizard is.
Third Donald McGillivray clip goes right here.
I gotcha.
But you'll know.
It's maybe not Disney enough or Pixar enough. It's a little
No, it's fine. It's
real.
just better music.
So
they just kind of... It was too sweet and saccharine for a good Scottish film.
Especially she's a very
rugged individual.
Yeah, the music was sweet.
It just should have been a little more raw. It would have been a lot better.
Yeah, and it was interesting that most of the Pixar movies don't have any music.
Or they have what's his name?
Randy Newman.
Randy
Newman had more music, I guess, but
more or less. It was only 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah, it was 3 songs.
Maybe 3. I don't know if it was even.
No, because there was the one at the beginning, Touch the Sky, and there was the one where she was fishing with her mom, and then there was the one at the end credits. Okay. That was by somebody else.
I just wasn't sure if the end credits was the same as one of the other ones.
No. That one was a Mumford and Sons song.
Mum.
But I really liked all the characters, though. I really enjoyed Merida a lot.
I did too. Merida's great. Her name sucks. She's great. King Fergus is amazing and hilarious.
Ridiculous and jolly and hilarious.
Yeah.
And even her mom was a really good character.
The queen is a great character. The queen is a proper fucking queen princess. The boys are hilarious little shits. Just doing their thing to get fed. The witch is incredible and got very little screen time. That's one of the things that they could have really expanded on. This great witch. They hired this lady who is awesome to be the witch. And it's you get 2 amazing scenes and that's it.
Yeah, it's they definitely could have done more with that, and then all of the lords were good, and all of that was good, but there really wasn't that many characters in this movie.
There's not, and really, the witch could have tortured her throughout the movie. It would have been a little bit more fun to have a little more of that.
Yeah, the animation is really excellent, though.
Especially even just the eyes of the bear turned wild, the bear is now the queen, is pretty cool.
I mean, Merida's hair in itself is its own character.
It is. That is true.
It's
Merida's
so crazy.
hair is something else. Not of this earth.
Well, and apparently the original lady most of this movie was supposed to take place like in the wintertime, and there was supposed to be snow everywhere. And they cut.
That would have sucked.
So that I do agree with that change. That it's interesting that was her original vision, and they cut all that out.
Ugh.
Probably because it was too difficult to animate.
Or it would have just been too much like Frozen.
Yeah, probably. That is very true. I actually had kind of a hard time with Moochie moment.
There seem to be a lot of them.
But I think I'm going to go with when the boys help them escape the castle.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like mom turning into a bear up until they like have to escape the castle the first time.
I think this is a very tiny scene, but when King Fergus pretends he's Merida,
I don't want to get married. I want to stay single and let my hair flow in the wind as I ride through the glen, firing arrows into the sunset.
Oh, I forgot about... Yeah, okay, that's pretty good too. Yeah.
That is fucking hilarious.
He's like, I'm Merida, and I just want to ride through the wind with my hair.
And he nails it.
Yeah.
And shoot my bow across the sunset, and it's just so funny.
And his little... Yeah, that's... I completely forgot about that. That's pretty good. I'll agree with that. Yeah. Or I do like the initial dinner scene too. The initial family dinner. I do.
That's very good. And then I will also throw in the witch's dial menu scene. Yeah, that's really funny.
Bad. It's pretty good. But
we need to change the name. We need to kind of workshop this category, I think, and that can go in the podcast. Like, because Moochie is so his own thing, but this needs to be like the best or like the most memorable. We need to workshop that category.
Have two different categories?
Either two or just a better title, because Moochie's better than most moments, and we're going to get in a movie. I mean, okay. Moochie, yeah. It's just not fair. It's not fair to Moochie.
It's not fair. Moochie.
Or to Fred McMurray.
Yeah,
it's not fair to either person.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Biggest surprise or disappointment?
It was funny as fuck. I laughed out loud multiple times during this movie.
Yeah, you did. And
that's rare for me. I don't laugh out loud.
No, you really don't. And I just wanted more, and that goes into what I would change about this. So, okay. I feel as though the whole thing with the tapestry and the ending, like, it was all kind of just very convenient. And this is how I would have changed it, to get more of the witch and to give it the ending where she makes it right by marrying somebody. What should have happened is there should have been something that meant they had to go find the witch to get the talisman back, like the thing, and they're going to quest to find the witch while her whole family is pursuing her. And somehow she interacts with, like, one of the dudes or something enough to be like...
Or each of the dudes.
Or each of them. And
she realizes she can marry one of them.
Yeah. And, like, maybe the witch could have been a little bit evil somehow in some way. And, like, they could have still had the same kind of ending with the bear fight and the whole thing. But it just... Because it was it was clearly a family heirloom... It could have been something they could have brought up at the beginning that was, like, really important, and she just gave it away.
She could have got it from her mom along with the bow for her birthday.
That's exactly. So I feel as though they should have had to go find the witch to get that back somehow. They still could have wrapped it up in kind of the same conclusion, but I think it would have been... Like, and maybe her brothers are, you're turned into bears too, oh my god. And then they have to, like, take them with them on the quest, and they could have had, like, other things happen. And
that would have been more of a Disney movie, honestly. It would have been less Pixar, more Disney, how you're describing it.
And I think it would have been better, because they could have met more characters on the way. They could have had...
That's fair. That's almost 2 movies, but that's fair.
Yeah, I just feel like they could have made it, I don't know, it would have made, I think, a little more sense to me. But I still really, really liked it, though. Would you?
So, I really, really liked it, too. Once again, any final thoughts?
Would you change anything about it, or?
Oh, not really. I thought it was pretty good. I like your edits, but I don't have a problem with how it was.
And I don't necessarily have a problem with it, I just... think it could have been better.
Well, no, you're very creative.
Could have been more more put together and tied, and they still could have tied in the whole the Prince Bear thing.
But the thing is that this is supposed to be mother-daughter, and they did that.
Yeah, but they could have had that be like on their questing for that together. It would have been a whole thing.
They could have. But they chose to tighten it up.
Yeah, which I get it, because, animation is expensive and nobody wants to sit through a 2 hour animated movie.
I don't want to have a 2-hour movie.
Even though it would have been epic.
Could have been cool. That's why I said it's almost of your solution's almost more of a 2-movie thing, but that's fine. Well. Any final thoughts?
No, it's a great movie. Like, I really like it, but it's not my favorite Pixar movie, but I do really enjoy it.
I like it better than others.
Did you get a budget?
I did. $185 million, which is unbelievable.
That's so much money.
Like, without a huge voice cast, I don't know how they did that, but okay. And they only made $585 million only.
38 million.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. My bad. I just didn't look at
538 million, which is still a lot, but it's just...
It's low for a Pixar movie.
It is low. Pixar's are usually in the billions.
So, Kat, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie is?
I mean, Pixar kind of has like a floor. Like, they don't go below a certain amount. So, I'm going to say like an 84%.
Yeah. So, the critics give it 78, and the people 75. I don't understand what they watched. So, I mean, I do, because I gave it a 73%. Wow.
Or 7.3 out of 10 naked Scottish Lord butts. No, it's because the story feels a little bit light. Like, not a lot happens.
That's fine.
No, it is fine. And the thing is, I don't hate this movie, but I just was disappointed that there wasn't more. They just could have swapped a few things, changed a few things. I wanted more of the witch, like you. And it just... I get the rating.
So for me, I teetered back and forth between 1 point, and I ended up on 89. This is a goddamn good movie.
You really liked it.
It's really good. You could watch this 1,000 times.
It's very, very watchable. That's true.
And I don't... I mean, of course, you can do all of these things of what they could have done and what they would have done and blah, 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 blah. Even with all of that, it's still fucking great.
It is good. It's very
89.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah. So now it's time for Kat's favorite part of the podcast.
Yay!
And now we're rolling out a 416.
Whoa.
No, out of.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant, like, that's the thing. I'm like, oh, that's the most recent movie, whatever the fuck that was.
However, we get number 20.
Ooh.
Oh, holy shit, we're on a roll.
So this is animated, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, maybe.
Because number 20, that's in the 40s? 50s?
Something like that. Wait, hang on. I'll go back and tell you for sure. 50s.
I can't remember when The Rescuers came out. Or when Robin Hood came out. But go ahead.
So, number 20 from 1953 is Peter Pan.
Oh, boy.
The movie right before this is Robin Hood.
So was it? It was close.
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh, I haven't seen OG Peter Pan in a really long time.
For real. As far as I'm concerned, OG Peter Pan is Hook.
Yeah, okay.
This is not Hook.
No, yeah, it's true. No, so the only thing that sticks out in my head about the original Peter Pan, two scenes stick out. At the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where Tinkerbell just gets jealous of Wendy and is like,
oh yeah,
she just gets like mad. And then I remember
she's like, you have a human-sized pussy.
Well, and this was a movie that we didn't have, so I didn't watch it a lot as a kid.
Well, I feel like it's...
Well, and then I remember there's a scene, Smee is shaving Captain Hook's face, and the crocodile is coming, and it's a whole wacky thing. But no, I don't think I've seen this since I was, like, a little kid.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same, because I don't think it's that good.
We'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
It's been a long time. I mean, it has songs in it, you know?
Based on Return to Neverland.
Well, but that was garbage. You can't base it on that.
But I don't know. So next week is going to be Peter Pan. We'll see. I shouldn't have said we're on a roll because I feel like I don't like Peter Pan. Unless it's Hook.
I think you've said that before. So
Unless it's Hook. I feel like Hook is the only thing.
But see, that's the funny thing is that
Rufio.
Rufio.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
See, he got Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. It's a whole thing. And Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman is the star of that show.
We didn't have Peter Pan. We had Hook. Like that is
exactly. That's my point.
That is what we watched. I watched that movie on repeat as a kid.
Exactly.
I was obsessed with it.
Exactly.
Oh man. Okay. Side note: why is there not a rewatchables episode of Hook?
We should write them and
tell them. That needs to be.
The Ringer should actually pick us up for $2.5 million. Just to be honest,
no, they're never going to do that.
No, they should. No. They should, but we'll suggest it and suggest.
There's this great podcast. It's called Disney Odd Pod.
Yeah, you should really. We'll re-record the first 120 something episodes so that they're actually good, or the first
100. That was when we made the change.
The first. Well, yeah, we'll do the whole 100, but. The first 60 episodes would have to be re-recorded.
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
No, definitely, because they're just stunk. Because we're getting our feet wet.
Yeah.
Anyhow, if you'd like to subscribe, email us, disneyoddpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, and, we see you listening. So, if you've been thinking about giving us a review... just do it.
Or a likey on Facebook. just do the thing. Give us the 5 stars. Give us the love. We see it. We know it. We feel it.
We see you when you're listening. We know when you've downloaded.
We are Santa Claus.
Disney Claus. Yeah.
In the meantime, this has been Disney On Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
Bye. Difference? Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see through it, for fuck's sake.
You can see through you. It's all about me.
This might be the least amount of notes I've ever taken.
I didn't take very many notes either.
Come on and tell you by my side. Week 20 of
Would you stop with that? I will order it as soon as you order that. I'm gonna scream into your ears.
Hey, it's the same volume in both of our headsets, so...
Yeah, but you're already half deaf. You're old.
Come on and take a free ride.